Ok Joe, congratulazioni per la vittoria di oggi e bentornato intanto ai TV Rete 7. Parliamo di quest'anno. Lo scorso ottobre uscisti dai cancelli di Casteldebole annunciando di essere il nuovo presidente del Bologna Calcio. Dopo solo un anno, lo scorso venerdì, hai annunciato invece di essere il nuovo presidente del Venezia. È passato solo un anno ed è stato un anno per tanti aspetti incredibile. Ma cos'è accaduto quest'anno?
You know, it was the most special year of my life. Of course, the success of the season, being promoted to Serie A, being the 30th president of Bologna was a dream for me, and being the president to bring them back up to Serie A was something very special. It was the pinnacle of a very special year. The most special part of the year wasn't the promotion to Serie A, it wasn't being the 30th president of Bologna. The most special part of the year for me was the relationship I developed with the city. Became like a family to me. People from all different walks of life, from the people who sweep the streets to the people who sit in the government, became friends and family. I met many dear friends like yourself, and it was something that I could never have imagined in a million years, how I was embraced by a city of very special people. And Bologna is the most special place in the world. I say that today as I sit here with my new logo, that the Bologna is always going to be my home in a lot of ways. It's a year I'll never forget.
When you arrived in Bologna, no?
Quando sei arrivato a Bologna hai fatto qualcosa di davvero speciale e incredibile, perché la situazione del club era drammaticamente difficile, a un passo quasi dal fallimento, e sei riuscito in pochissimo tempo a farti amare da più o meno tutti quanti. Avevi un progetto in mente per il Bologna, ma qualcosa è cambiato fin dall'inizio. È questa forse la causa principale per cui oggi non sei più nel BFC e tutto è cambiato improvvisamente?
To see you get out from Bologna.
Manfredi, there's a lot of things I would love to be able to talk to you about and discuss, but there's the situation is not a secret to many, but I'm prohibited, unable to talk about the relationship between myself and Joey, or the reasons for the departure, other than what I've already said. What Joey and I said together in our statement that we put on the BFSG website. It's been written about, it's been spoken about. Some facts are accurate, some facts are inaccurate, but it's just we've made an agreement that we will not discuss this publicly, and I want to honor that agreement. I understand there's a desire for clarity, but it's not the right thing to do. I have to stand by my word and not speak about the situation. So all I could say about that is I have to look forward now. I love Bologna. I will always love Bologna. My time there was special. I'm proud of what I did when I was there. I'm very proud of it, I must say. Of course, I planned on being there for the rest of my life. But I'm here now. And I just can only say thank you to the fans of Bologna. Thank you to the city. Thank you to my brothers and sisters in Bologna. My friends, some of the people I was honored to work with in Bologna. I love them and I thank them. I'll never never forget, and I'll always be there. And as a matter of fact, I'm still doing work in Bologna with the Teatro Comunale. Nicola Sani who's a great new director of the Teatro Comunale, is doing some terrific work to help rebuild and put new life in Teatro Comunale. I'm working with them still now, of course. I'm not leaving that project. Oh yeah, with Bologna, of course. Teatro Comunale is one of the most important pieces of culture in Bologna. It's one of the most important theaters in Europe. It's the oldest municipal theater in the world, and it's been a little bit neglected, like the soccer team was. So I gave myself to that project to help put funds into the project. I formed a not-for-profit corporation in the United States, and it's still going. I'm still moving forward with that project. So even though I'm no longer part of Bologna Football Club or the president there, I made a commitment to help Teatro Comunale, and I will stand by that commitment because it's something important to me. And as I said, Bologna as a city is the most special in the world.
So,
allora ricominciamo da qui. Roma, Bologna e Venezia. Perché?
I mean, when you think about what you just said, Rome, Bologna, Venice, not three bad places, huh? There could be worse places in the world. Huh? Yeah. So I mean, at least I'm picking nice locations. Rome, to me, was a dream. My parents were born in Roma. Mm-hmm. My father was tifo de AC Roma. When I grew up, I only knew AC Roma. So that was my target from the beginning. It took me a long time. It took me 5 years to put that deal together, to bring in the investors into the deal for Roma, which I'm proud of being able to do. I'm the first American, first foreigner to bring ownership group into Serie A. And that's something I'm very proud of. I was the vice president in Roma. And after 4 years, I saw the Bologna opportunity come back. As you know, Bologna has always been on my mind from 2008. It was an opportunity that I thought I could make a difference with in a city that I thought was very special. I didn't know Bologna well. I was only here for a few months in 2008, but I knew there was something special about the city, and I knew the history of that team is phenomenal. I mean, the fourth most scudetti in the history of Italian soccer. So for me, it was an opportunity that when I saw it was available, and my friend Mauro Vladovic from the FIGC, he told me, that Bologna is maybe available. It was something that I turned my attention to immediately, and I was fortunate enough to put a group together that we were able to close on the deal.
And in Venice?
And then of course Venice, when I realized that I was going to have to be leaving Bologna, I looked around at the landscape. I love Italian soccer. I love this country. I'm proud of my heritage. I love calcio. So my time wasn't finished yet, and I knew that. So I looked around at the other opportunities, and there were other teams in Serie A that were available, and there were other teams in Serie B or Liga Pro but there's only one Venice in the world. And it was an opportunity for me that has enormous potential because of the name Venezia. And it's a global name, it's a global brand. Also a team that has some very important history in Italian soccer. So for me, it was a very easy choice.
Sure. So this is the reason,
allora questa è la ragione per cui hai deciso di investire del denaro nel calcio italiano, perché sono in tanti quelli che pensano invece che sia una pazzia.
Yes, but MANFREDI, it is crazy, but that's it's funny. When I started the Roma project, started in 2007, people would say to me all the time, "You're crazy. You're crazy. You can't make money in Italian football. You can't make money." You're right. If you run it the way it's been run for the last 20 years, you can't make money in Italian football. You only put money and lose money. Sure. But if you run it the right way, like a business, the way you run a normal business, by increasing revenues, by implementing a smart business strategy, putting in what we call a North American sports business model, you can do very well as a businessman in Italian football. In Roma, the value of Roma has tripled 3 times since it was purchased in 2010, 2011. I love that. Bologna obviously was purchased as a Serie B club. It's now a Serie A club. The value has increased substantially in 1 year. And also, it's about, attending to the business side of things. There's a commercial element that has been neglected for far too long in Italian soccer. It's one of the reasons I saw these opportunities in Italy as special. Where else in the world can you buy a world-class team like AS Roma for 110, 120 million euros? If you buy a team in the United States, it's €1 billion, $1 billion. If you buy a team in the Premier League, the smallest team in the Premier League, the worst team, is £250 million. But in Italy, you can still buy teams for inexpensive because they're distressed, they're low, but the potential is high.
E tu sei convinto che sia possibile guadagnare col calcio anche a Bologna?
I know for a fact it is. Of course it is.
In che modo?
By increasing the revenues. And increasing the revenues, example in Bologna, I mean, the revenues increased substantially from 1 year to the next because we put in a commercial director, Christoph Winterling, who was able to use the model that we used before in Roma, that we used before in other clubs that have been used throughout the world, where you just not only focus on the revenues that are set, like the media revenues, but you build up the revenues like commercial revenues, the game day revenues, ticketing, merchandise, sponsorship, and you build them up. The higher your revenues go, the more value the enterprise is worth, the company is worth. So you can make money by increasing the value of your property. That's how you make money. It's very simple. I mean, if you buy something and it's worth X, and in 5 years it's worth 5 times X, or 10 times X, or 3 times X, you've made money. You don't put the money in your pocket, you put it back in the team, but the value of your property, what you own, like it's buying a building. If you buy a building and it's only worth $100, and in 5 years the building is worth $500, you've made money.
La domanda è questa: chi è Joe Tacopina? Un avvocato di New York? Un broker? O cosa?
Or what?
I'm certainly not a broker. A broker is somebody who identifies an opportunity, finds people who are interested in it, puts them together with the opportunity, and takes money for doing that, and leaves. I'm not a broker.
You want to stay here?
Well, I've done it in every deal I've been involved in Roma, in Bologna, and of course in this deal. I identify the opportunities. I put a group together of operating team. I mean, in Rome, I put the team together, the operating team. Mauro Baldessoni was my lawyer. In Rome, I brought him into the opportunity, and we brought Franco Baldini in and Walter Sabatini in. I mean, 2 of the best professionals in the business. In Bologna, as you know what I did there as far as bringing in the operating team. And the same here, Giorgio Perinetti. I mean, so, a broker is somebody who just takes money for making an introduction and leaves. I haven't taken money. I put money, I've put time. And I put myself into the opportunity because I love it and I believe in it. So, and yes, I'm a lawyer, obviously still. I'm a very busy lawyer in New York. So my days are very difficult because I work here during the day and then I go back to the hotel room at night, and I'm 6 hours ahead of New York, and I work as a lawyer for a few hours before I go to sleep.
Sure.
Tu hai un talento indubbiamente, perché sei riuscito a convincere un direttore sportivo come Perinetti a scendere di categoria ed arrivare fino alla Serie D. Com'è possibile?
Nobody believed it.
Come hai fatto questo?
His words yesterday made me laugh. Friday at the press conference, I was inside. I was laughing to hear Giorgio Perinetti, one of the best sporting directors in Italia, say, "It's an honor for me to work with Joe." An honor. It's an honor for me to work with him, not for him to work with me. But he believed in me, and he believed in my project. And he said to me that, to him, he viewed me as a perfect combination of professionalism and passion. There were some people who are very professional but lack passion. There were some that he said are very passionate but lack professionalism. And he told me he believed that I was, for him, a perfect combination, and he believed in, I showed him my project and why I thought Venezia Football Club in 5 years could be one of the top teams in Italy. He believed it, and obviously he's a big part of it. But no, many people never believed Giorgio Peronetti from AC Roma, from Napoli, Juventus, Palermo would be coming to a Serie D team. But once he came, everything changed, because some of the players, Victor Barreto, Serie A, attaccante Serie A di Torino l'anno scorso, Modulo, Serie A difensore di Parma. I mean, we had many players come here who would never play for Serie D, but because they were shown the project and they believed in Peronetti, and hopefully they believed in me. In one game, it felt different at the stadium. There were many more people there, as you saw today. It looked different. The managers were in suits and ties. The coach was in a suit and tie, and it was a special feeling. It was very organized, and that's what I said to the team and to all the managers, that, you know, we may be in Serie D, but forget about that. We're going to conduct ourselves like we're a Serie A organization, like we're a top team in Italy, a top team in Europe. That's how we will conduct ourselves as a company. The soccer side, the technical side, will have to catch up to us, and it will. I mean, what Giorgio Peronetti has done in 2 months is unbelievable. He put a team together, you know, that's by far the best team in Serie D.
Joe, on Friday, you said
venerdì
that,
durante la
you
conferenza
want
stampa
to be,
hai detto che vorrai essere qui a Venezia l'azionista di maggioranza.
here in Venezia, for next years.
È questa la lezione forse che hai imparato dalle
That
tue
you have learned,
esperienze
that you
passate?
learned from the experience
Yes.
of the past?
Yes, absolutely. Yes. Yes, in order to do what I want to do without interruption, that has to be the case. I have to stay the majority partner, and I will. Doesn't mean I don't have other partners, brilliant partners, and other people I surround myself with. You know, one thing I always like to do is have people around me that are smart and good people, because to me, there's no way I could do this by myself. I'm not smart enough. I'm not someone who knows everything. So to me, to surround myself with people who are good in different professions, different fields, you know, even on the technical side of this game, is very important to me, because I like to have people in a room and we could all talk together. I don't pretend to know everything. I tell Giorgio Peronetti, I trust you. You take who you want to take. You take the coach you want to take. You take the players you want to take. He tells me, but I don't tell him yes, no. I said, Giorgio, you decide, because I trust in him and he's the technical director. So for me to get involved in that would not help. The same way with other things. I mean, I am a visionary. I have ideas about, you know, how to brand a company and so on and so forth, but I need smart people around me, which is why I've put people, you know, on the board that I trust and I respect. Why the partners I've taken in this deal, and many people want to be part of this opportunity, many people, because of the location, because it's Venice. But I've turned down some partners who didn't seem to be the right mix. I've taken in partners who I believe will add value and allow me to operate this with my operating team and enjoy it. And so far it's been very, very successful.
So this aspect of you,
Questo aspetto tuo
was the problem,
è stato forse il problema più grande che hai avuto con chi ha investito denaro nei club, prima a Roma, specialmente a Bologna. Cioè, sei una presenza molto ingombrante all'interno probabilmente di un progetto come quello che c'è stato a Bologna, ed è stato questo forse il motivo per cui tu hai deciso di ripartire veramente dall'inizio qui a Venezia.
It's the real beginning, yeah. But there's something, you know, I again, Manfredi, I can't comment on Bologna at all. The relationship there, I just can't. Not even. You understand that? I'm sorry, but I just can't. But obviously, you know, because I have the ability to be in the front of the situation, and become sort of visible. You know, I have to make sure that everyone understands that when I'm doing something to help all of us, to help the team, and that's how it is here in Venezia. All the partners who are involved want me to be, want to push me forward and do what I do best. And you know, I do it not for self-aggrandizing purposes. I do it because I care about the team and I want to bring enthusiasm to the city. And you're right, in Venezia, it's starting really from scratch, from the bottom. But there's something nice about that. There's something, because in this situation, in this project, we could mold everything ourselves. We're starting from the logo. I mean, this is a brand new logo that we made, you know, and we made this logo with branding people, Rob Stryer, and we have this Nike thing here. It's Serie. The only team Nike sponsors outside of Serie A. And, you know, I like to think that's because they know that we're a little bit different, that we may be in Serie D, but we're not really a Serie D team or organization. So, you know, I bring my enthusiasm because I care. I really care, and I'm passionate. And, you know, I'll lend the same enthusiasm I lent to Bologna here. I will hopefully be as effective here as I was, I think, there. But starting from scratch with the people I have around me, Manfredi is a pleasure.
Okay, so you will start here from the beginning.
Ok, comincerai qui dall'inizio la tua nuova storia, noi ti guarderemo da qua, vedremo quello che farai con questo nuovo club. Siamo qui per salutarti, per farti salutare Bologna.
Just say I'll see you later. And the same with Bologna. I mean, my role there is finished. My role with the team is finished. But my relationship with that city will never go away, at least not in my mind. And I will do work with the theater, with the Teatro Comunale, and I will stay involved. Not that far from Bologna.
Non scomparirai, insomma.
And it is the best food in the world, by the way. So, I mean, I have my restaurants I still need to go back to. Nonna Rosa and Bitone and, you know, all my favorite places. So, Pizza Napoli from Salvo. I mean, the greatest food I've had there. I gained a little bit of weight in Bologna. I mean, I got a little, but of course I'll be back. I mean, I have work to do there with the Teatro Comunale, and I have many, many friends there. Friends I've developed relationships with that I will never lose. People that I care about, and I will call them my brothers or sisters forever. So I'll be back plenty in Bologna. I'd love to come.
The stadium?
I'd love to buy a ticket. I'd love to buy a ticket and sit in the Curva. I mean, that's what I would love to do one day, because I still watch the Bologna games. I still root very hard for Bologna. You know, and I still love them. I still love the team. I have many friends on the team, many great players on that team, great people. You know, Robert Acquafresca is one of the most humble human beings I've ever met. He's a great guy.
Tu parlasti a Robert Acquafresca proprio poco prima del gol che fece contro.
Yeah, last year you mean? Yeah, that was a special moment. Yeah, he, you know, he had a rough year last year and didn't play that much. But I remember saying to him right before the game that he was in the starting lineup, and I said to him, Robert, I said, this is your game. Show everybody how great you are, how good you can be. And he scored right away the first goal for us, and it was amazing. And he said to me afterwards, he said, Press, thank you for those words. It was special because you gave me a feeling of confidence. And he thanked me after the game. He didn't have to do that. I didn't score the goal, he did. But anyway, yes, the times in Bologna were very, very special.
Ok, allora Joe, grazie per la tua pazienza, per il tuo tempo. Da avvocato non vorrei immaginare cosa possano esserci costati questi 20-30 minuti.
Yes, you owe me, at this point, you owe me about 450 euros. I'll send you the bill.
Not bad.
You don't have to pay it now.
Okay, thank you very much.
Okay,
Ciao,
Manfredi.
Joe.
Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao, Bologna.